Hey, what's up guys, Ratsudan here, back again with another video. And in this video guys, we're going to do some Python JSON data video. So this is basically a JSON information, JSON basic video. So it's not for intermediate or actually advanced people. It's just for real beginners getting started with Python and want to learn how to use JSON in Python. So I'm using my W3 School's documentation just to teach you guys what is JSON. I'm just going to go over the process, examples, everything. So simply what is JSON? We'll just take a look. So JSON is the syntax for storing and exchanging data. So if you work with JavaScript APIs, you simply get a JSON, a JavaScript object notation, and then you basically convert that to a JavaScript string, or in this case we're going to convert this to a Python string and simply just work with that, grab any information and simply give some functionality to application, whatever our app is. So this is what we're going to do. So the basics is very important, and today I'm just going to go with the basics. So you don't need to really download JSON to your system or your file, nothing, or even in your Python folder. It just comes with your Python module itself. So you don't need to do anything. All right guys, so I have a simple folder called Python. So before even that, I'm going to show you guys what you're going to learn in this video. You're going to learn how to convert JSON to Python and Python to JSON, and then also format the code, format the JSON with indentation and some basic selectors and all. So you're going to learn everything. So yeah, let's jump in and get started. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do, I'm just have a simple folder called Python JSON, so which is a folder. I'm gonna have a file called Python file. So guys, just very important just to take a look at this. Make sure you name your file. If you're naming it any other name like app.py or test.py or first.py or whatever, you go ahead. So if you're just gonna make your file, you're gonna call it a json.py. Never name it like this, because Python is going to see json.py as a file and import it to your program, and it's just going to give you so many errors, and it's not going to really import the JSON module that is existed. It's just going to basically import your file rather than importing that JSON module inside your Python system, your model or library, whatever it's installed. Okay, so if you want to name JSON, make sure you're going to put a capital J and S and other simple, and just call json.py. I simply have this guys, like while I was learning, it was a big problem. I never knew why I really didn't get the the data and all. It's just because I named the file wrong, okay, or I shouldn't have the same file. All right, so yeah, so I just want to give an introduction, so before you guys didn't make any mistake. All right, so first we're gonna basically learn guys how to import JSON. So you just say import JSON, you just say JSON. So there we go guys, just get it like that. So if you just have your name file like in the same case, sorry guys, if you have the name in the same case, that's just going to import this file rather than the JSON data. Okay, so we'll just import JSON, the module itself or the library, and then guys the built-in package actually. Okay, so now we're basically going to basically convert JSON to Python. Okay, so for that guys, I want to basically have a JSON data. So basically it's going to convert the JSON data to a Python dictionary, or if you want to call that an object, whatever. Alright, okay, so now we imported JSON. Now I'm just gonna have a JSON file. So I'm just gonna say x, and x is gonna be a JSON file, which is gonna be a string of objects, objects inside string. So I'm gonna call the first one, let's say name is equals to, I probably should have copied this because then wasting some time, but anyway. Okay, so then this is our first one, and then we're gonna have the age, and this is gonna be 30. Now this is your preference guys. You can have this as a number, or you can have this 30 inside the string and then convert it, whatever you want to do that. But in this case it's just gonna be a number in default. Okay, and now I'm gonna say city, and city is gonna be inside strings, so I'm gonna say New York, and you also feel free to leave spaces in your code. Okay, so which is New York. So now if you take a look, this is our basic object. Okay, so we have a name John, age 30, city, he lives in New York. Alright, now this is basically JSON data. Alright, so now we want to be able to pass this or convert this to a Python file, or Python a way that Python understands, just to pass it up. Okay, so I'm gonna call this y, and I'm just gonna pass y is basically the passed version of x, which is this string of objects JSON data. So I'm gonna say JSON dot loads. Okay, and inside this load I'm gonna pass x, okay, which is this one. Okay, And now we'll just simply print out y, and let's take a look what it's going to give us. Okay, so I'm going to say you can run a file in whatever way. I'm just going to say python json.py. okay, so if I give there we go, we get an object with name which is John, age which is 30, and city which is New York. And now just say if you want to just grab the age of this guy itself, it's you can just do it. You can just say you want to put brackets, and then you want to pass the name of the name which you want to grab. If you want to take age, you want to say just say age, and then run the file, and then you get 30. And you can just do the same thing for name also, and if you just see the name, you get name. Okay, so now we learned how to actually pass. So this is very simple, guys. You just wanna wrap this whatever. If you want to get the whole thing, you can still get it. Okay, all right. So now that's far as how you convert a JSON to a Python file. And now, guys, we're just gonna learn how to actually convert a Python object or a Python dictionary to a JSON string by using JSON.dumps. Okay, there's a function, built-in function in the JSON package itself called JSON.dumps. Okay, so let's do it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grab, okay, so which is this one. So I'm gonna basically create a, I'm gonna delete everything. Okay, oh yeah, let's say, and we'll put x, and the x is gonna be an object, a dictionary, and let's name, which is gonna be obviously Python dictionary. And I'm gonna name, so I'm gonna say name which is equals to John, okay, which is the same thing, okay, which is equal to John, and then you want to say age which is equals to 30, so you can put it as a number, and then you want to say city. By the way, I have the code in the description, so you don't need to type everything out. Okay, so I'm going to say New York. Alright, so this is a basic Python data. So as just this one, okay, so we passed it. That's just the application of this one, just as similar as that, just the same thing. Okay, and now, guys, we're just gonna convert that. Okay, I'm just gonna say convert to JSON. Okay, so that's very simple. I'm gonna create a variable called y, which is gonna basically convert the JSON Python object to JSON, so which also has a built command called json.dumps. Okay, which is called dumps. Okay, not dump, it's dumps. And you want to pass which object you want to change, which is going to be in this case x. All right, and if you just save the file and we just take a look, print y. If I say print y there, if I run the code again, there we go, we get a we basically get a JSON data. Okay, so that's what we get. It's working. Alright, guys, so now we know how to convert JSON. So just to take a look, we know how Python JSON.loads is gonna basically convert your JSON to Python, and JSON.dumps is gonna convert to Python. It's gonna convert Python to JSON. Okay. Alright, so guys, I just wanted to basically you can convert Python objects of following types. So you can convert a dictionary, you can convert a list, or everything. So I'll quickly show you guys a demo on the screen right now, how the Python objects are converted into JSON strings. So it's basically so just look into the screenshot right there, and just a demo right there. So it's gonna just take you the print. It's gonna print up dumps, and then it's gonna be first one. It's gonna be, I guess it's gonna be a dictionary, and then it's gonna be a list, and it's gonna be a tuple string. So you can convert anything you want Python objects to JSON strings. And also just this one just basically shows you a sort of a table which shows you how the Python and JSON data basically differs. A dictionary is a object in Python, object in JSON, which is JavaScript object notation, and a list is an array, a tuple is an array, a string is an array, and blah blah blah. Okay, so none is a null, and so on. So just to make sure you understand the difference between the JSON and the Python data itself. And now, guys, we're just going to take a look on how to convert objects containing legal data types. Okay, so it's going to contain age, it's going to contain boolean like married or something, it's going to contain children, which is going to be still strings, and it's going to be objects and stuff. So we're going to learn how to do it. Okay, so let's actually take a look on how to actually do it. So let's type this up. I'm just going to get rid of that. Also reduce my terminal up like that. Okay, Alright guys, I'm just gonna get rid of that, and I'm just gonna say x, which is equals to an object, and this I'm gonna just say, okay, let me just, why did I get rid of that? Let me just get that back. I'm just gonna delete this code right there. Okay, just gonna delete that, we don't need it for now. Okay, so still we're gonna convert the Python object to a JSON, and we have city, we have New York, and also I'm just gonna replace this with some stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get this city out of the way, and I'm gonna set some boolean. So in this case we're gonna have married, so it's gonna be a boolean. So in this case it's gonna be true. Okay, true. And now we want to get divorced, so I'm going over the documentation, so there shouldn't be any errors. Okay, false, divorce is false, and we're going to have some couple of strings inside a tuple. So we'll have children. Okay, let's say children, and then we'll have a tuple, sorry, it's a tuple brackets, we have a tuple, and inside the tuple we're going to have some strings, which is going to be Anne and Billy. Okay, which is John's children. Okay, which is inside it says inside children, and children which is mapped up to a tuple of Anne and Billy. And then we have pets, and this is going to be a null object, so I'm going to say pets, and this is basically going to return, you don't need to have a string, you can simply just say with the caps, you can say null, which is going to return a null, null in JSON and a none in Python objects obviously. And then cars, which is also going to, but cars is basically going to be an object. Okay, so when I say cars, and which is going to be an array, and inside the array there are going to be a couple of objects, and I want to say model, which is, so basically we are learning how the JSON data is formatted, basically how the dictionary is formatted, with couple of strings, boolean values, tuples and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to say model, which we want to map this up to, let's say BMW 230. Okay, so I'm just typing this out because you can sort of understand that rather than copying and pasting it. Okay, and then I'm going to say mpg is equal to 27.5. Okay, so this is a basic, so this is also a number. All right, so this is, I told you we're going to have two objects inside this one array, which is called cars. I'm going to copy that and paste it up, and the second one is going to be a Ford Edge. Okay, and then so feel free to have your whatever cars you want, and we're going to say the mpg or whatever is going to be 24.1. all right, so if you just take a look, this is how the Python object looks like when it contains all legal data types. So starting from tuples, arrays, arrays inside objects, and multiple tuples, boolean, numbers, string, float. By the way, oh yeah, we also have float right here. So it's how it's going to contain. All right, so now what we're going to do, guys, we'll just format this, or we just basically just convert this to a JSON file and see. So I'm just going to straight away print this up. I want to say JSON dot dumps. Okay, see dumps, and now inside that I'm going to pass my dictionary or an object, whatever. All right, and now let me just make this a bit bigger, and now run this up, and if you take a look right here, and you get the whole array, the whole object or the dictionary in Python. Okay, so it's how basically it's formatted. Okay, so in JSON, so this is basically JSON data. All right, so but this is actually the Python object. It has converted the Python object to a JSON data. That's just simply it. Alright guys, let's clear it up. We don't need this for now. And now guys, we just gonna simply format the results. Basically the example I showed you guys basically is a JSON string which we outputted right now, which is not very easy to read. So what we could do is, guys, you have some built-in functions in Python which you can basically use to format the results or format the strings, whatever strings you get from the JSON data. Okay, so we're gonna learn how to actually format that. Okay, so one thing is called the index which is we're using indent. It's actually a parameter that defines the number of indents. Okay, so you can say indent 4, indent 5, so it's going to indent as much as differentiated legal types legal types of legal types to indented form, like it's going to have spaces and it's going to give it you in a pretty cool order. So let's actually check this out. Okay, so what you want to do, guys, I'm going to just create a no, let me just leave it like that, and say just get rid of that. All right, and now, guys, I'm just going to say you can use separators and stuff. Okay, so let me just print this. Okay, just print the json.dumps. And now, guys, inside this I want to basically pass I want to simply pass whatever the object is. For example, this is, for us it's x, and then I want to pass the other one, which is a parameter called indent. Okay, which is indent. And now we want to pass the indent is equals to 4 or 5. Normally it's 4. Okay, normally it's 4, which I mean 4 is very enough for giving you a pretty cool little indentation to your array with different your object with different legal types. So you can have as much as you want. It depends on the code. Okay, so in this code 4 should do. And it's just a preference, guys, and also I'm sticking to the documentation. So that's it. So let's run our file and see. So just expand that. There we go. So before we ran the same thing and we just got a similar one like that, which we couldn't even understand properly. But then after the indentation parameter, we're able to get something like this. So basically it's indented with 4 spaces, everything regarding the types and the legal types, all the brackets and all the comma separators, all indented, and it's pretty much like a readable file. So basically it's just a basic, guys. It doesn't help as much in your code, but just to make sure when you work with JSON, if you want to take a look at how your files are, how your data are, you simply can use this option to do it. Okay, all right, guys, so let's take a look. And also we have another parameters like separators. So you can use a comma or space to each of the object, and you can separate those values from the values, like separate the keys from the values. Like if you want to separate the colon from the values, you can just replace this with equals, just to make sure you are formatted, the code formatted is really looking good. So let's actually use that. So by the way, you can actually have it with the indent itself. So the parameter is going to be like 3 parameters passed inside this whole dumps function. So it's going to index is equal to 0. Now we can, I'm going to show you guys an example right now. I can actually change this to 10 here if I want, and if I just run the code here, just clear the screen, and if I run the code, so it's going to be an overkill. So there's going to be a lot of spaces between the array, the brackets and the strings and the commas and all. That's going to be an overkill. So 4 should do. That's what I told. 4 is good, and that's a good number just to have an indentation. Alright, guys, so now as I was saying, we're gonna basically have an example of using separators. Okay, so let me just comment it here. Let me comment this here, convert JSON. So it's gonna be which is gonna be indent. I'll just call it indent. Okay, I'll just call it like indent to make sure this is gonna be an indent. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing, okay, and comment this up because we don't need it for now, and I want to put it somewhere here. Okay, and we're gonna have it separators, indent and separators. Okay, and this keyboard is super bad. Separates. Okay, so we're gonna basically have a separator, which is sorry, it should be my spelling is correct. It's very hard for me to type while looking. Okay, so we're gonna have indent and separators. Okay, so it's just completely fine. Just don't care about the code, guys. So we're gonna have print with this object, the whole object, which has a lot of legal types, and we're gonna indent this to 4. Okay, which is just well said like that. And then we're gonna use some separators just to take a look. Let's look at an example of separators. We want to say separators equals to, and you want to put a bracket. Okay, you want to put a circular bracket, and then you want to say which separator which you're going to use for. So in this case I'm going to use dot, which I already don't have there. So I'm going to say dot. So you can use this multiplication, colon, comma, so whatever. So in that case I'm going to replace this, or just separate this by equals. Okay, so it's going to be a dot, and you separate this by equals. And if you just take a look, yeah, that should be do. they should do. And if I just create this up and run the screen, and there we go. So it's gonna just add it's just gonna simply add sort of what could I actually say, it's simply adding a full stop after the every data type. For example, if you just take a look here, you have John, you have age, you have true, false, children, you have pets, the BMW cars and all of the stuff, and the cars object itself. So let's run it again, and if you take a look, it's basically going to add a full stop here right there, just to make sure, and not after the numbers. So you just, because they are numbers, all right, so string it would, and it's going to just replace them, just have a full stop, just to make sure the code is good and understandable, and showing it's going to finish up here. And also it's having a equal instead of a colon, which is a pretty good thing to see right there. Okay, so you can straight away understand that in straight away point. So if you just take a look, just to change this up, if you just say equals only, so guys, if you just take a look and just say equals only, and if you just run this again, I don't think there should be a much of a difference. Yeah, that's right. So basically it's going to be two values that has been passed in here. So because I got the same error before as well, so you're going to be two values which has been passed here. All right, so make sure you have this set. You want to have two values passed here, maybe a full stop or a colon, which is going to simply separate your code and make sure it gives a nice little formation. Okay, so we'll clear that up, run the file, and there we go. Our code is formatted and it looks pretty fine. Okay, all right guys, so now the next thing you can also do, guys, you have something called order the result. Okay, you can order whatever results. For example, I show you guys an example right now. So separators, I'm just going to get rid of the separators. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. No, let me just get rid of the separators for now. Okay, and now in this case I'm going to say sort keys is equals to true. Okay, and this one should be capital true. And if you take a look at this, guys, if you take a look at this, you're basically going to get the same thing, which is basically formatted. Now this is basically use sort keys parameters specify the result should be sorted or not. So in this case your result is simply sorted. Now if you take a look right there, if I get rid of the indentation, let me just say indentation is equals to 0, it probably shouldn't give an error. Okay, so just run the file again. Okay, so there we go. So this has simply sorted out the whole the whole object itself. Okay, so I gave it an indent of 0, so you can delete this up if you want to, but the 0 and not having the index is just the same. Okay, so if you just see, it's just basically going to sort out your object with the unnecessary spaces, and it's going to be ideally something like that. Every object is going to contain a space, and then every line and every simple tuple and everything is pretty much formatted. So as you guys can see, we don't have the brackets, the tuple is basically formatted, and we have all the true and the false with its none. But overall it's not going to be alphabetical order just because it's sort, but it's just going to sort out the whole object itself. So as you guys can see, we have an indentation, we have 0 indentation, which should have given us sort of like an ununderstandable, like a very hardly readable object, which is not. It's basically going to give you an object which has some simple sorting in it, so which is really easy for you to understand and do stuff in it. Okay, so that's been it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this simple tutorial. I have some very more tutorial on Python where I build apps and we do a bot, we build a bot together on Instagram bot and so on. So be sure to check out my playlist, and also if you want to see more tutorials like this, comment down below. It's just a simple tutorial. I just wanted to go over this, so I just wanted to jump up and make a video, because most of the time people really confused on JSON data. I don't know, for a reason I did, so I just wanted to make one. Anyway guys, that's it for the video, and if you have any questions, if you have any future ideas on this video, please be sure to leave that down in the description. I will definitely comment and reply, and also make that video if that's actually okay and able to make it. So yeah, something useful to people. Anyway guys, that's just it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your super support. We actually need to 100 subscribers, so make sure you drop the like button. You click that like button and as well as a subscribe button. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later.